Hello, this is Joanna. I'm here with my book IOmas and Reflections on Life and Living. I'm going to read you the page for November the 19th, and this is a story, a personal story about the expanding petrol. I would like to tell you the story of the expanding petrol. Once I was on holiday in France with 4 of my children. Everything had cost much more than expected, and I was left with a small amount of money on the last day. I had to drive to the car ferry. On the map it looked like a journey of about 100 kilometres, and I had enough money for petrol to do that journey. I bought the petrol and set off. After a little while I realised that my estimate was wrong and that the journey was closer to 150 kilometres. I started to worry about petrol as I had no French money and no plastic cards either. My son Oliver, who was navigating us, was sitting in the front seat. On all the previous journeys in France, he looked out for the signs and gave me directions. He fell asleep. I saw a sign for the next town that we were to bypass and turned off the road we were on. After 100 yards, I realised that I had come off the main road. I continued on as I was afraid to use the petrol needed to do a U-turn and return. My son slept away. I watched the petrol gauge and started to pray that I would get to the ferry. Once there, I knew I would be all right. I had Irish money to buy petrol once I got to the other side. I kept on the road. We passed through some amazing landscape and directly through some small French villages. We passed a sign for St. Michael's Church. I kept watching the petrol gauge. Suddenly it started to rise. It went up 1 notch, then 2 notches, then 3. After about 20 kilometres, we rejoined the main road. We arrived safely at the ferry port. Afterwards, I was able to look up a map and found that the road I had taken cut 30 kilometres off the journey. That was the story of the expanding petrol. So God bless everybody. Slán agus bannacht go fóill.